My two topics that I talk about all the time is cracking the rich code and the power of letting go. There was a woman in one of my workshops one day, a couple of years ago. She came in and registered, and I happened to be standing there when she registered. And I noticed she had bruises on her wrist, both wrists. She had bruises on her neck, looked like hand bruises. She had a busted lip. She had a black eye. And she had a lot of makeup on to try to cover it up, but she couldn't really cover it up. And it was apparent she had been beaten. And so about halfway through the first day, she gets up and she said, I've been in 7 abusive relationships, and 3 of them were marriages. 4 of them were just, we lived together. And every one of them physically abused me. And the one I'm with now does the same thing. And she said, in fact, when I left this morning, he knew I was coming to this workshop. And he said, if you try to leave me, I will kill you. And she said, he meant it. And I said, well, tell me about your boyfriend. Oh, she did. And said, well, he's all controlling and this and that. And I said, well, you guys are a perfect match. Why do you want to break up? He said, well, he beats me. And I said, well, but you need to be beaten for some reason. So you're a perfect match. She said, I don't get it. I said, well, your need for approval complements his need to control. She said, but he's in control. And I said, no, he's not. You're in control. You control your environment. You control you. You can't control him. But the first thing you've got to do is you got to have a desire to change. If you don't have a desire to change, it's going to stay that way for the rest of your life. So she said, well, I do. And I worked with her for about 20, 30 minutes. And she finally let go of all of that stuff. I mean, literally, it was peeled off and gone. And she said, I feel so good. She said, I'm just like buzzing inside. She said, I've never felt like this. So at the end of the day, she comes up, she said, what do I do when I go home? I said, don't do anything. Don't think about him. Just go home feeling the way you feel. So she goes home, walks in the house. She said, usually is in his recliner, drinking beer. And oftentimes he'll say, get me another beer. But he wasn't there. She said, I went in the kitchen thinking he's probably getting his own beer. He wasn't there. She said, I figured he'd already been drinking. He's passed out on the bed. So I went in the bedroom. He's not there. She said, suddenly everything felt different. And she said, I ran to the closet and opened the doors, and all of his stuff was gone. And I looked to the dresser, and there was a note that said, I will never be back. Now, you think we're not connected? All of us are. See, when you change, the people around you either change or they go away.